Hello, and welcome to the Pistachio Podcast. I'm Aditi Patil.
Hi, I'm Dipali Paul.
Today we're here to discuss the topic why a career break shouldn't be a career breaker. Three inspiring stories of relocating spouses. Now, the dreaded career break is every relocating spouse's nightmare. Moving across countries and states can be difficult. By the time you land, acclimatize, and get your bearings, before you realize your career has taken a back seat and you are on the dreaded career break. Today, we want to challenge the notion that a career break can derail your career. In fact, it can put you in a position of strength. Yes, you heard that right. And we have proof to share. We bring to you three real and inspiring stories of relocating spouses who owned their career break and made their way successfully back into the workforce. At the end of this podcast, we hope that you leave inspired and have at least three tips to apply to your career journey. Now, in order to protect the privacy of our community members, we have changed some names, but the stories are real. So let's get started with our first one.
Hi, so here's a story about one of our relocating spouses. And our first story is about owning your career break. Alicia, a relocating spouse, was looking for a job. A stellar education behind her, a solid 10 years experience with tech giant. One would imagine she would have no issues, right? What was holding her back? You guessed it, a career break of 12 years. She would apply to jobs, make it to the interview stage, and would struggle to communicate her unique story. With declining morale and confidence, Alicia decided to attend a VR Pistachio event titled Own Your Story. She realized that she needed to own her career break story. With the help of Pistachio mentors, she was able to highlight her unique strengths and her unique career break. Today, Alicia's back in the workforce in her dream company. What changed? An important change in her mindset. She went from focusing on what she lacked to focusing on what she had gained. What can we learn from Alicia's story? Own your story by focusing on what you have versus what you don't have.
That's an incredible story and lesson indeed. Our second story is about keeping your professional skills sharp and upskilling during your career break and even once you land a job. This is my favorite tip for anyone who's trying to get back into the workforce because we believe that it's really important to keep learning and stay curious. Now, this is the story of Ria, who was a relocating spouse who went through the same struggles getting back into the workforce, just like all of us did. However, instead of just waiting for a job, she decided to use her time to study and actually got a master's degree. Now, she eventually landed a great job with a CPG company. But even after that, she didn't rest on her laurels and decided to keep upskilling and learning. She joined the Pistachio PMP Accountability Prod. And just today, we got an email from her mentioning that she cleared her exam and has received her project management professional certification. Incredible. Now, what can we learn from Ria's story? No matter where you are in your career, make the time to learn and upskill. Keep your professional skills sharp. And this is especially important when you are in the middle of a career break.
Our third and final story drives home the point about being strategic in your job search. This is probably the most important advice ever. And let me tell you Anya's story. She was in a senior HR leadership position in her home country. She reached the US, went through the usual journey of rejection in her job search process. The whole journey of rejection pushed her to a point where she was willing to take up any job and started applying for positions like HR coordinator. She attended one of VR Pistachio's events by our mentor, Sheena, and realized that she should not settle for any job but be strategic about it. She then hired a coach, built on her confidence, and is now in a senior leadership position in a leading tech company. What changed? How did this happen? Nothing but Anya's job search strategy. She targeted companies that were more aligned to her past experience. She applied in the right level commensurate with her experience and networked with HR community to build relationships. While what can we learn from Anya's story? Be strategic about your job search. It will take time and need patience, but it would totally be worth it.
I agree. It would totally be worth it, Deepali. Now, these are just three stories, but we have many, many more. Now, their paths may have been different, but they all landed at the ultimate destination, which is they didn't just land any job, but they found a fulfilling career that really uses their unique talents and skills. And most importantly, they stopped being defensive about their career break. Now, this problem is not just unique to relocating spouses. Since the pandemic hit, more than 2.2 million women have left the US workforce. LinkedIn has even added a stay at home parent job title. So the world is slowly beginning to normalize being on a career break. And that's why we say a career break should not be a career breaker. We hope you enjoyed these stories. And if you have a career break story to share or want to hear more, join our Facebook community, We Are Pistachio, watch our webinars on our YouTube channel, and write to us at connect@wearepistachio.com. Until our next podcast, remember to own your story, upskill yourself, and be strategic in your job search. And most importantly, remember that you're not alone in this journey because, after all, the pistachio promise is no relocating spouse is ever alone. Thank you.